building is being dedicated in your husband's memory, the Honorable Henry Ramsey Jr. Our academy is going through exciting transitions this year that will incorporate biomedicine classes, emergency medicine, and dual enrollment courses for our students when they reach their senior year. Through bond measures, civic partners, advisory partners, and our industry leaders, we have been able, as a school, to have a building gifted to us that will allow our students to be able to perform the skill sets that will help them become productive members of the medical community. We are so excited to have you here this evening to see the culmination of years of planning and hard work to build a building that is going to incorporate the ability of our students to be able to do work-based learning and theory-based education, and we are so proud to have you here this evening. We sincerely apologize for not being here this evening. While you are attending this beautiful building dedication, myself, Dr. David Pintado, and 140 of our wonderful Health Academy students in the junior class are currently at the Richmond Civic Auditorium presenting for the prestigious UC Berkeley Wide Plan Organization and Richmond Main Street. Our students are working hard and have been diligently preparing presentations over the past 2 months to present proposals to the City of Richmond on how to incorporate a more healthy, inclusive downtown Richmond through healthy eating and lifestyle choices. We hope that you enjoy your evening, and we are again so incredibly proud to have our building named after the Honorable Henry Ramsey Jr. And Ms. Ramsey, I hope for the years to come that life treats you well and our students make you proud. Have a great evening.
I am an RP student in the Health Academy, and I am also the Secretary of HOSA Club, which stands for Health Occupation Students of America Club. Being a student in the Health Academy has definitely allowed me to explore the different careers within the medical profession. Not only have I acquired fundamental knowledge about medicine, but I've also gained insight on the ethical aspects of it. Now that we have access to this in the building, we're able to use this through the hospital and mannequins to do most of our work as seniors, as we'll be doing dual enrollment next year. We are extremely grateful for this building given to us, and we will use it well. Thank you.
I would be remiss if I didn't thank the voters.
Yes.
Most people don't really understand that there is a real true commitment by residents here in the West Contra Costa Unified School District, stretching from Hercules all the way to Kensington. And voters have generously, through the years, been dedicated to enable us to inspire the next generation of young people. It's truly investment that we want to see other communities emulate, so that they understand that you need to invest in young people. And even if it costs you a few extra dollars, it's well worth it. You saw the tape, you saw the images, you saw the video, you saw the love that's going on in this facility that, Bob, you know, 5 years ago was an absolute dump. And we had less than 1,000 students here. And now we've increased it almost double because of the work and effort by him, his team, the teachers, the administration, the support staff. All the work that went into that created this opportunity. And even this facility, just a law academy, this is a public school, folks. It's not a private school. It is a public school of middle income and low income families. And look at what they have to study, definitely, just the whole legal elements of what we see. And so we think it's critical. And I'm going to give you a story, but I first want to recognize my cousin here too. I don't think he's going to recognize George. George Mason Jr., he's a family member too. And it's something I think all of you can take heart of. And it was something that wasn't part of my story, but was part of a story that made me realize that we should never give up. First, don't ever give up on yourself. Don't you ever give up on yourself. Because once you give up on yourself, it means that you won't allow others to help you. But I'm going to give you a story about my father so that you all can understand where he came from. My mother mentioned, my father was a high school dropout. My dad dropped out after his 8th grade year because he grew up in a segregated community. Johnny, you know, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And he didn't see any opportunity or hope. He didn't see anything. So there's two things you could have done back in late 40s, early 50s. Got in trouble on the street, or joined the military. So he went down the street and joined the military. And he went into the Air Force, and he happened to be stationed out in California, March Air Force. And at the time, California was like, whoa. He saw a black, told me, he said, he saw a black man on the back of a fire truck. Whoa, black man. I was like, wow, that's incredible. Black firefighter. He just felt like he was in a different world. He felt like he was on the moon. Black firefighter. He's just like, where did that come from? And so, as he went back and started thinking about things, somebody said, hey, don't go back to high school, go to college. And so, my dad never went to high school. Never got a high school diploma. But he remembers California, and they were opening up a school in Riverside. So my dad remembered it. He went to Howard for a year, and then transferred, and was there with Judge Agratellis at UC Riverside. And it really told me that in life, you can always create a new spark. Even when you see somebody, and that's why I like Nancy's program, it's not about 4.0s, it's about just working with students so that they later can become inspired in life to do something and be productive. Just because you've been unsuccessful at one phase of your life doesn't mean you have to be unsuccessful later. So for me, what this really symbolizes is hope, belief, and optimism. And so even though the plaque doesn't say it out there, I wanted you to know here was an individual that started without much education, but because he believed in himself and others believed in him, dedication, hard work, and realizing you can achieve if you really believe. And so that's the message I want to leave. Because here in this school district, I served for 21 years on the West Contra Costa Unified School Board. I was elected 5 times, and there was nobody who believed. Madeline, you know it. Randy, you know it as well. And Bruce, too. Bruce came here 10 years ago. I hired him out of a little raggedy little district down in out of Brandy. I remember him coming out there, and him coming out here, and he was talking about his bond program. We have a $1.6 billion rebuilding program in the school district. And it's basically taken every high school that we've had and torn it down from scratch and rebuilt it. Nobody ever believed that we could do it. But my dad always told me, you're only limited by your own imagination. And so don't limit yourself. And so when Nancy came to me, because my dad was never really a bragger, he didn't talk much, but he was giving scholarships away. And I saw, I was like, whoa, what's this? You know, and she's working with these students. And I said, well, what is West County? I don't care about Oakland. I want to know where my Richmond kids are, you know? And I said, Nancy was like, oh, it's great, no, we got a fundraiser here, blah, blah, blah. I said, what are you talking about? They said, just come to us, we're a district, get your institutional support and establish a partnership. And now, 5 years later, it's one of the superlative programs that we're trying to emulate. Madeline, you gotta help me with Hagerstown, with Will, trying to get into Oakland, and we want to bring it statewide so that school districts are partnering with the legal profession, the legal industry, with academic institutions, because the law is about learning. And if you learn, you're empowered, and you can make a difference to do what we all want to see happen in life, which is improve the quality of life for everyone. So I just want to thank everybody here today for participating, for taking time out of your busy schedules to dedicate this for my father. I think he would be very proud. I'm sorry, unfortunately, he's not alive. But I remember when I first got elected in 1993, there were 2 people there, and I hope the board doesn't forget Judge Terry Hatter, too. Judge Terry Hatter swore me in, federal court judge who was the first African-American on the school board. But this is how bad things were in the 60s. So when he actually was appointed, I was the first black male ever elected. He was appointed, and he ran in 1965. And the district was just unified. This is a federal judge. He lost. Terry Hatter lost. But I always remember that you can't know your future unless you know your past. And so I had Judge Terry Hatter swear me in 1993. And we actually had Judge Terry Hatter come back in 2005, Madeline remembers that, when we had the dedication of El Segundo High, one of their other partner schools that they work with in El Segundo. So as we do this, I hope we continue to recognize not just the person who helped integrate the DA's office in Contra Costa County in 1964, but actually all the contributions. That's why we even named one of our schools after Fred T. Korematsu, because we wanted people to understand what the law did. One of the worst Supreme Court decisions ever in the history of this country, along with Dred Scott, Citizens United. The Fred T. Korematsu, just because we want our kids to get educated. Because the more you educate kids, the more empowered they are, and the less they can be manipulated and abused. Like my father says, education is key. Thank you again, everybody. Let's have some